difference between delegation and allocation, because I think those two things often get confused. Firstly, delegation, and both are important by the way, but delegation is there to give someone a genuine learning opportunity. It's you passing over a task that's going to enable someone to learn, develop, grow in some sort of capacity. Allocation, on the other hand, is essentially you fobbing off tasks that you don't want to do. And I'll give you a couple of examples. This is a real example of me allocating a task and doing it purposefully. Quite a few years ago when I was running a team, I realised that every time it was someone's birthday, and we had like 15 people in this team, so birthdays came around fairly often. Every time it was someone's birthday, I would take myself down to Marks and Spencer's, I would buy a Colin the Caterpillar cake, I'd buy a birthday card, I'd come back to the office, secretly get everyone to sign the card, and then do the big shout out of, it's Johnny's birthday, let's all sing happy birthday, give him the card. And it dawned on me the enormous waste of my time that was taking. So I allocated that task to someone else. That person wasn't going to get any learning, any growth from going to Marks and Spencer's, but actually just freed up some of my time. Delegation, on the other hand, is also removing tasks and giving them to someone else, but it's doing it in a way that's going to help that person to learn, grow and develop. So another example of that might be, or an example of delegation might be, to say, right, Johnny, every Monday morning, what I'd like you to do is go and collate all the figures from everyone in the team and bring those to our 8:30 morning kickoff meeting. And that's one thing that I haven't got to do, but in doing that, Johnny is going to get insight into what everyone else is doing, how we're growing and developing as a business, and all this other great stuff. A couple of things to think about. Am I delegating? Am I allocating? There is no good and bad, but you need to be doing both with intention. Allocating is fobbing off stuff you don't want to do. So if you're going to do that, make sure it's fair. A couple of other things to be really mindful of when delegating is, first of all, be really clear. So be clear of what your expectations are, your timescales, and obviously ensuring that you're following up with that. Being realistic, I think, is very important. That thing that you're allocating, that thing that you're delegating, isn't going to impact too heavily on the consultant's current workload. And then the last thing, probably the most important, is that you keep this positive, that the person that you're delegating to can see that there's some developmental benefit to be had from this as well. Cool, I hope that's helpful. Delegation versus allocation, which one are you doing?